Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen. Some go down the playoff chute, and some hang on. Hi-ho, Steve Areno. In a new neighborhood, Mr. Rogers makes good. For the love of Lasorda, the Dodgers rebound on Chavez home ground. It's Billy Ball in the fall. The royal blue crown comes tumbling down. Of fingers and the goose, Reggie and the moose, the Yankees bounce back. And leaping lizards or Winfields, great plays in the outfields. Yes, from the sweet kiss of victory to the orphans of defeat. Get set. It's the year's last call for This Week in Baseball. National League East, a hot ticket north of the border. The first postseason play of Major League Baseball in Canada. Jim Fanning's Montreal Expos against the world champion Philadelphia Phillies. Game 1. Expo ace Steve Rogers and the Montreal defense were ready to rise. Pitching and defense were an Expo must because three-time Cy Young Award winner Steve Carlton was on the mound for Philadelphia. Chris Spire, who helped spark Montreal throughout the playoff, delivered this base hit in the second inning, and it proved to be the game winner, the first of two in a row for Spire. Freshly anointed relief ace Jeff Reardon got the first of two straight saves with a last-second helping hand from Terry Francona. A 3-1 victory for the Expos in Game 1. In Game 2, as broadcasters called the play-by-play in two languages, young Bill Gullickson translated a strong pitching effort into Montreal's second straight 3-1 victory, his first ever against the Phillies. Gary Carter, Monsieur L'Octobre in Montreal, provided the necessary power with a two-run shot, putting the Expos 2 games up, only one game shy of their first division title. But down in Philadelphia, the Phillies were out to reshoot the script. With their backs to the wall in game number 3, Manny Trillo and his veteran teammates struck early in the second inning and put the Expos on shaky ground. Montreal was zonked 6-2, done in by 4 errors, and this outstanding effort at third by Mike Schmidt. With the series extended to a 4th game, the champions weren't about to offer any handouts. Tug McGraw came in, and with the score tied, pitched 3 shutout innings, thanks to his own ingenuity in the 10th. Heads-up double play. Bottom of the 10th inning, George Vukovich, a hot pinch hitter, sent the Mercury soaring in Philadelphia, over the fence, and also over the ball game. The Phillies had come back to tie the series, so Game 5 would decide the division title. Once again, Steve Carlton and Steve Rogers, even Steven, until Mr. Rogers drove in 2 runs. Right Whitey Rogers then went all the way for a 3-0 shutout. His second win of the playoffs. His second against Lefty Carlton. And the first division title in 13 years for the Expos, who eliminated the world champions. How about that? Next chapter, National League West. Astrological high anxiety at the Astrodome. Bill Burton's Houston Astros, second-half winners against Tom Lasorda's first-half champion, Los Angeles Dodgers. Game 1. Fernando Valenzuela was as cool as the dome air, allowing only 1 run in 8 innings. Houston ace Nolan Ryan was even better, pitching 1-hit shutout ball through the first 6 innings. But Ryan's Express was flagged down momentarily in the 7th when Steve Garvey made a connection. There it goes. Going, and it is gone. Hey, Steve, didn't you hear? I said gone, man. It was over the line. 1-1. That was still the score when Alan Ashby batted with a man on, 2 away in the 9th inning, and then up, and away. A happy ending for the home dome on a game winner by Alan Ashby, Houston's hottest bat in the final month. The 3-1 thriller gave the Astros a 1-0 lead in the series. More high-tension excitement followed in Game 2. Joe Niekro pitched 8 innings of shutout ball, and 2 relievers added 3 more scoreless innings. But the Astros couldn't score either, forcing their 5th extra-inning playoff game in 2 years. Then Denny Walling, batting in the 11th, ended it with a base hit for a 1-0 Houston victory. The series continued in Los Angeles with the Dodgers facing instant elimination in Game 3. But Bert Hooton and company figured, why go home now that we are home, or something like that. Anyway, L.A. was thinking comeback, and the Dodgers matched that thought with a deed. Indeed. Steve Garvey, remembering how Dodger fans inspired 3 straight victories over Houston at season's end last year, gave him inspiration right off the bat in the first inning with a home run. The Dodgers never lost the lead in that one, winning 6-1. And suddenly, Dodger blue was burning brightly in that Southern California sun. Game 4. Pedro Guerrero got his pitch in the 5th inning. Deep to left, and it's going, it's gone. Once again, Los Angeles had the lead. And Fernando Valenzuela protected that lead, allowing only 4 hits on 3 days' rest. The Valenzuela kid went all the way to gain a tight 2-1 decision. The Dodgers' 13th win in 15 games against Houston on home turf. More important, the series was now tied at 2 apiece. Love and Bedlam in Tinseltown. Who said this wasn't a kid's game? Game 5. Jerry Royce, who pitched 9 shutout innings in Houston, was out to do it again against Nolan Ryan. Ryan staggered in the 6th, but Royce kept rolling on and rolling out the zeros. The game-ending strikeout got past the catcher, but the Astros didn't catch on in time. 4-0 Dodgers, the first time a team had come back from a 2-game deficit to win. And who said you can't go home again? Certainly not the boys of Dodger Blue. Now, time for this week's Volkswagen quiz, brought to you by the 1982 Rabbit. Nothing else is a Volkswagen. Pittsburgh's Bill Madlock won his 3rd batting title this year with a .341 average. He won his other 2 in 1975 and '76 in a different uniform, the Chicago Cubs. A few players have won titles with two teams, but can you name the only National League batting champ who played on two teams the same season? Stay tuned.
Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen, and this is the Rolaids Relief Man Award. It's the only award for relief pitchers recognized by Major League Baseball. Last year, Dan Quisenberry of the Kansas City Royals won it, and in the National League, Raleigh Fingers of the San Diego Padres. Now, here's how you can follow the pitchers who'll spell relief this year. Give each reliever 2 points for a win or a save. Subtract 1 point for each loss. So keep score and see who wins this year's Rolaids Relief Man Award.
American League West, a royal blowout on the Oakland Speedway. The Kansas City Royals, winners of Season 2, playing the Oakland A's, winners of Season 1. Game 1, a tough day for George Brett, who in the fourth inning kept this Oakland rally alive. A gross error, because it gave Wayne Gross a chance to bat with 2 men on. A 3-run homer, all the firepower that Mike Norris would need. Norris fired a 4-hit shutout, his second straight shutout after a lengthy slump. And Billy Martin's Amazing A's had grabbed an early upper hand. Game 2, with their championship crown starting to tilt, the Royals kept struggling for runs. Steve McCaddy had him shut out until Willie Wilson made up a 1-0 deficit in the 5th inning. Kansas City looked ready to rumble, but the A's stayed cool. In the 8th, rookie Mike Jones had to face Tony Armas with a man on second. A little scary because Armas already had 3 hits. Okay, said Tony A, with a bullet right through George Brett. And Dwayne Murphy scored the decisive run. Steve McCaddy, pitching out of several tight jams, went the distance to complete a tough 2-1 victory. And now the A's needed only one more as the series moved on to Oakland. Thinking big, thinking sweet. Billy Martin went with his Iron Man starter, Rick Langford, to pocket the clincher. Langford held them, and Oakland wasted little time getting on the scoreboard. Dave McKay surprised by playing long ball, and Oakland took a 4-1 lead. Dave Beard came on late to save the victory. Celebration time, as it took the A's only 2 years to rise from last place and 108 losses to champions of the American League West. How about that, Billy? Not so simple in the Eastern playoff. For the Milwaukee Brewers and New York Yankees, tension and near trauma with every pitch. Ron Guidry opened for the Yankees in Milwaukee and was greeted by the familiar crack of Brewer bats. Sharp defense helped out, especially Greg Nettles, who offered one of his patented run-saving miracles. But the score was 2-0 in favor of Milwaukee when Oscar Gamble came up with a man on in the 4th inning. Gamble hit the jackpot to tie it, and his teammates rolled up 2 more runs in that 4th, en route to a 5-3 victory. Game 2. The Brew Crew cast was tight. The Yankees still a bit nervous. No score as Lou Piniella batted in the Yankees' lucky 4th. A 1-0 Yankee lead that would hold up. Goose Gossage helped winner Dave Righetti out of a tight spot, then wrapped up his second playoff save as catcher Rick Cerrone faced a real screen test. A four-star play and 3-0 win as the Yankees took home a commanding two-game edge. But in the Bronx, the moon was full and oh so capricious. New York once again scored in the fourth inning, and Tommy John was keeping Milwaukee frustrated, with the Yankees again coming up with a big play. Meanwhile, Randy Lurch was doing almost as well, and the Brewers started arresting pinstripe traffic on the bases, giving New York base runners fits. Paul Molitor and the Brewers came alive with 3 in the 7th and 2 in the 8th, including this game winner, 5-3 Milwaukee. Game 4. Rick Russell and Pete Vukovich matched zeros until Ben Ogilvy, previously hitless in the series, drove in the second run of that magic fourth inning. New York tried to trim Raleigh Fingers, who came on in the 9th after pitching 3 innings the night before, but Fingers and the Brewers escaped by a whisker, 2-1, and the series was even. The 5th and final game, and Gorman Thomas homered early as the Brewers took a 2-0 lead in search of their first division title. But New York got a rallying call. And what else but the fourth inning? Reggie Jackson had the right channel. Showtime for Mr. October in full Reggie vision. A 2-run homer to tie, his 16th homer in postseason play. Oscar Gamble followed with a cloud of his own, and Yankee bats were suddenly alive and well. Rick Cerrone also homered as New York romped away 7-3. On the mound, young flamethrower Dave Righetti relieved Ron Guidry early to earn his second win of the series. Goose Gossett relieved Righetti to save New York for the 3rd time, and for the 5th time in 6 years, the Yankees were #1 in the American League East. Now, back to this week's Volkswagen quiz. In 1947, Harry Walker led all National League hitters with a .363 average. After batting only 210 games with the St. Louis Cardinals that season, he was traded to the Philadelphia Phillies and went on to become the only National League batting champ to play for 2 teams the same year. In baseball's most confusing season, great plays were still mighty pleasing. For instance, Chet Lemon, Chicago White Sox. St. Louis Cardinal rookie Gene Root. The White Sox, Wayne Nordhagen. The New York Yankees, Oscar Gamble. And the Yankees, Diamond Dave Winfield. Brian Downey of the California Angels. The Oakland A's, Ricky Henderson. Lonnie Smith of the Philadelphia Phillies. Montreal Expo rookie Tim Raines. Roderick Perkins of the San Diego Padres. The Atlanta Braves, Eddie Miller. Dave Collins, Cincinnati Reds. Gary Matthews of the Phillies. And finally, the mad juggler, Willie Wilson of the Kansas City Royals. So much for the Leatherman. Now on to the Fireman. In the pennant heat, teams counted more than ever on that ace or pair of aces in the bullpen. Bruce Sutter brought the Cardinals close to a pennant while winning his second National League Relief Man Award. His 3-5 record and league-leading 25 saves gave him 51 points, narrowly edging Atlanta's Rick Camp in the Rolaids competition. Camp won 9, lost 3, and saved 17 for a total of 49 points, just 2 shy of Suter. In the American League, Season 1 belonged to Yankee fireman Goose Gossage, who saved to 17 before the strike. Arm trouble later slowed him, but a 3-2 record with 21 saves gave him 46 points, good enough for second place in the competition. Overall, the relief man of the year was clearly Milwaukee's Raleigh Fingers, who totaled 65 points with a 6-3 record and 28 saves. The 4th time he's won the Rolaids Award. Fingers also helped Milwaukee edge St. Louis as the major's best team bullpen with a total of 90 points to the Cardinals' 88. Another reliever, Baltimore's Sammy Stewart, got no relief. He thought he'd won the ERA title, but found out that fractions of innings are rounded off. Therefore, Sammy just barely lost by a fraction to Oakland's Steve McCann. Finally, back to Raleigh Fingers, 1981's Gillette Special. The man with the most saves in history had his best season. He led the Brewers to their first title, figured in 55% of their wins, had a 1.04 ERA, and allowed only 1 run all year at home. Congratulations, Raleigh. And that's all for now, folks. See you next year on This Week in Baseball. A special thanks to these staff members. Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen. A grandstand handstand? Oh, well, baseball's in good hands. Some rely on sleight of hand. No time to knuckle under, knuckle down. A handout at home wins at the Dome. Hand jiving and high-fiving for a hand slam. A handcuffed catcher loses the handle, but then gets a grip and the umpire's hand. A race for home and a head-first hand slide, but a fistful of trouble. KC at the bat and Fingers as thumbs. A Royals flush is a winning hand. And big league farm hands get out of hand, so we got our hands full. Baseball at its best, hands down, on This Week in Baseball.